Good morning, everybody. I'm Kelly Best. I'm Vice President of Teamwork Services. We provide the human resources for the Water and Sewer Commission. A little bit on Teamwork Services. We are a PEO, which is called a Professional Employer Organization. Teamwork started in 1989 here in Brunswick. Up until recently, we've had one owner. We're not a big corporation. We don't like to be a big corporation. We want to focus on the services of our clients. We have two different types of agreements with Teamwork Services. PEO, which is the co-employment, and that's about 92% of our business. That's where everything falls under Teamwork Services Federal ID number. And then we have the ASO agreement, which is what Joint Water and Sewer does, where we work on behalf and we file everything under your Federal ID number. We have 13 certified HR professionals in our office. Last year, we are one of the largest employers in Glynn County. We processed about 3,500 W-2s for Glynn County and surrounding areas, and about $55 million in wages. So we're a pretty large employer. We're going to go over the areas that Teamwork covers for Joint Water and Sewer, with payroll, accounting, benefits administration, pension plan administration, workers' compensation, risk management, and then, of course, our human resources and consulting. Under payroll, we have a large list of services. Not everything is going to be listed on the PowerPoint presentation, but actually, if you look at the last, what is it, Pam, 6 pages of the RFP, that's our full summary of services that we handle. So we offer an online timekeeping system, and employees clock in and out on the online timekeeping system, and we monitor that and keep all the records at our office. Once we go over all the time for each department, we go over it line by line and get with the supervisors to make sure there's no questions so that the payroll's processed properly. We maintain all the sick leave requests, PTO balances, direct deposit, any deductions, all the garnishments, they all go through Teamwork Services. The E-Verify system, we do the Office of Child Support Enforcement, new hire reporting every 10 days. We give all the accounting reports to the accounting manager here so they can reconcile. We make all the tax deposits, all the tax returns, administer the E-Verify system. Anytime someone wants to do a leave request or sick leave donation, we handle that. We have a state-of-the-art HRIS system, a human resource system, so the employees have access to their self-service, so they can pull off their bank statement, their check stubs, they can pull off their W-2s at the end of the year, they can look at their PTO balances, they can see what benefits they're enrolled in, and then the managers also have access to that, so they can see PTO balances as well. Anytime you guys have any type of bonuses or anything like that, we have manual calculations for overtime premiums. We make sure you're in compliance with that, and we take care of that as well. Under the accounting services, last year with Joint Water and Sewer, I think we did 157 W-2s for Joint Water and Sewer. We maintain all the tax returns, all the tax payments, make sure they're on time. We maintain the professional liability insurance. Every month we have to send a report to the workers' comp for the workers' comp premiums. And also the auditor comes to our office for the workers' comp, so they don't have to be worried about anything here, and we give them all the payroll records because we have that, and then the auditor does the audit at our office, so you don't have to worry about that. We reconcile all the monthly invoices for other screenings. You guys do drug testing, MVRs, criminal history, job advertisements, workers' comp deductibles, and credit billing. So we reconcile all those bills and then just bill you once a month for those, so you don't have a bunch of different bills. We give a client accounting report again to the accountant here so they can have everything on file. And then we also make sure that your Department of Labor, your DOL 4 ends, because you're a non-contribuable employer, make sure all of that is filed correctly. Under benefits administration, we negotiate and reconcile all of your benefits packages. We'll go out and shop it, find the best option, come meet with the the committees and then the commission to make sure that the best option is available for the employees. We do track the eligibility, do the enrollments, reconcile the bills every single month, help employees with claims, do the COBRA administration. We file the 5500s, print all the 1095s, and file those. Anytime anybody has any troubleshooting with claims, we have Daphne Gable, who's our benefits manager here, and I know personally that she has worked for months, if not years, on certain claims with employees. So it's not just that they have the benefits of HR, they have the benefit of having, a benefit manager that really takes the time and sees their claims through, which a lot of people, an employer, they won't have time to do that, but us being outsourced, that's what we do. We have a flexible spending account, employees participate in that. All of these are tax savings. They're through our 125 plan that we administer for the joint water and sewer. So you get the employer's tax savings and the employees get tax savings being able to be in the 125 plan. And then we also process medical support orders. That's where someone has a child support order and they have to provide health insurance for their child. We make sure that those employees are enrolled in the insurance and the child is getting coverage that they're supposed to, so that joint water sewer or their employee is not in any kind of trouble. You guys have two different types of pension plans, and Teamwork administers both of those on your behalf. You have a defined benefit plan, which you know about through GMA, Georgia Municipal Association, and then you have the 457 comp plan. It's through Newport Group, which was a recent change for you guys. So employees are eligible right away whenever they're hired for the 457. And so when they get hired, they come to our office and we explain to that to them and give them the enrollment forms for them to enroll. We also do annual meetings so that the employees can know what they're vested into the defined benefit plan. Anytime someone wants to retire, like you have a retirement coming up soon, I know Walt Thompson is retiring. All that will go through our office. The termination process will go through, and then also his retirement. I'll notify GMA that he's retiring, give them his salary, and then they'll work directly with him on his retirement benefits. We have a semi-annual meetings for the 457 plan, so I coordinate those with the Joint Water Sewer here, and then with our office, and with Newport Group and GMA, just for educational purposes for the employees. And then also, we had a couple this year of unforeseen emergency distributions from the 457, and we maintain and monitor those as well, and make sure that they're approved. Under workers' comp and risk management, this is a big part. I know probably all of you have met Jeffrey Singletary. He's our risk control manager. We maintain your workers' comp policy. We pay all the premiums monthly on that policy. Anytime someone gets hurt, they call Jeffrey right away. I think most of the supervisors know his cell phone number by heart. They call him and let him know. He calls and let the medical facility know that there's been an injury and that the bills need to come to our office, and that make sure that 100% post-accident drug testing. Also that they're authorized to give them medical treatment and there's light duty available. So we're trying to get those employees back to work as soon as possible. He's on the safety committee, so he holds the monthly safety committee meetings, the safety stand down and the safety training. Jeffrey takes care of all of that. The federal and state labor compliance law posters, those are actually delivered to our office yesterday. So those will be going out to all the sites, and we provide those as part of our services. They changed, I think, 3 times last year. So we print them each time they change and make sure everybody's up to date on that. And that has the panel positions so the employees know where to go if they were injured on the job. But of course, if they call the office, Jeffrey will let them know as well. The OSHA 300 logs, which need to be posted as of yesterday, Jeffrey sent those out to the locations, and so your OSHA 300 days are posted and we take them down immediately. So we maintain those. Certified Drug-Free Workplace Program, which allows you to get 7.5% credit on your workers' comp policy. We administer that, make sure you're in compliance. The random drug screen policy, we send out the random, and also for the DOT drivers that they have to do that monthly. Jeffrey is certified forklift trainer, so Jeffrey comes out and does the forklift training for the employees and give them a certificate and a little card so that they're certified on the forklift, and he'll maintain that. And then we verify all the bills and invoices, make sure that they come in and everything is accurate. On accident claims, I've kind of already gone over that. We make sure that we're the first initial contact for any kind of accident and claim. We submit it to the carrier, recommend if there's any kind of fraud investigation. I know Jeffrey personally has gone out and tried to video or get any type of information on if we think that there's something fraud, so we'll report it to the insurance company so that it keeps your costs down and the cost of the citizens. We work directly with the doctors and the insurance adjusters to make sure that the injured employee receives the necessary treatment so that they don't feel like that they're being mistreated or they need to call a lawyer or OSHA or Department of Labor. We want to make sure that they feel important, that we care about them, and we want to get them back to work as soon as possible. Under the human resources and consulting, this is a big part of the services that we offer. I know that you guys are familiar with Cindy Barnhart. She's our senior human resource generalist at Teamwork Services. She attends all the meetings, the HR committee, and then also the weekly staff meeting for you guys. Anytime the employee has a question about the handbook or they have a question about they feel like maybe it's something they can't talk to their supervisor about, Teamwork is there as a third party so that they can come talk to us so they don't feel like they need to go to the Department of Labor or a lawyer or someone else. So it gives them a good avenue. Also for the managers too, if they don't know how to write someone up or how we should reward it or should we have documentation on that, they can call and we give recommendations on that as well. We manage all the advertising, the screening, and the recruiting. You guys have a really large amount of employees that try to come in apply for jobs. I remember a year or so ago, I think y'all hiring for customer service, and we had within a week 330 people come through our office to fill out application. So having them come through our office and not coming through here is a benefit for joint water and sewer. One, you don't have to maintain the applications here on site. You just send them down to our office and they fill out the application, we screen them, and give you the most qualified candidates. And so 330 people, that's a lot of people. We schedule all the interviews, set up all the onboarding. All new hires come to our office for their first day, and we sit them down. We go through all the paperwork with them. We do their handbook review, make sure that they know where the policies are, if they can ask any questions. We go ahead and do a short benefits review with them too, and then also with the pension. And so when they're ready to go to work, they're ready to go to work with the supervisors. So they come to our office first. We create any new job descriptions for any new positions, make pay grade recommendations. We manage the new hire processing through screening, all of the screenings that we build about. We also have to process all those credit, new hires, credit, criminal, background, all of that. We customize the job offer letters and conduct new hire employee orientation, like I said before. Make sure that they get their tetanus and hepatitis A and B vaccination. And we attend job fairs to promote the positions at Joint Water and Sewer. I think yesterday we had one and we were there for about 3 hours and we promoted the positions here at Joint Water and Sewer. We make sure you're in compliance with all the different acts that are applicable to Joint Water and Sewer. Anytime someone terminates, we send out the Department of Labor a DOL 800 that they can take to the unemployment office. We're here to assist in the Open Records Act with Janice. We distribute monthly the spreadsheet for the evaluations, the 2-month and 5-month of annual evaluations. Any disciplinary problems, supervisor training, pretty much anything human resource related, we take care of it. The FMLA, we administer the FMLA policy, work closely with workers' comp and with the HR department and with the benefits department so that everybody knows what's going on and we get those employees their rights under FMLA. Any unemployment claims or hearings, we go to with them, we manage those and also make sure that we get any kind of, if we need testimony from any employee or supervisor, then we'll pull them in and make sure we're in compliance with that. Cindy attends the weekly staff meeting, review the employment processes, policies with the superintendents weekly. She presents the toolbox safety talk. She attends the human resource committee, the full commission committee. We do a lot of meetings. And we also recognize the service awards. We were the ones that ordered the pins for the service awards for employees We have a staff of 13 certified HR people. We have a new president, Pam Morris. Pam was with us from 1999 to 2003, and she recently came back this last year and is now part owner of Teamwork Services, and she's our new president. So she's fairly new, but she's been with Teamwork 5 years in the past, and she knows the business very well. Like I said, I'm Kelly Bess. I'm vice president. This is my 20th year at Teamwork Services. Really wish we had a defined benefits plan after retired. We have Melissa Oliver in the accounting department. She's the one that does all the tax returns, all the tax payments. Jeffrey, which you all met, if you haven't, you will soon. He's the workers' comp risk manager. Redora's been with us for 18 years. She's the payroll manager. Cindy Barnhart, the senior human resource manager. You've met her. She handles any of the HR for Joint Water and Sewer. Daphne Gable, which you'll hear from in just a moment, she's our benefits manager. She manages all the benefits for Joint Water and Sewer, along with Annette Corneli. Then we have 3 other people in payroll. We have Tanya, Jennifer, and Melanie. Melanie processes the new hires, and Tanya is actually the one that runs all the payroll for Joint Water and Sewer. And then Bailey runs all the ads for Joint Water and Sewer. She does all the screening for the new hires, and Lori Thomas, the assistant, she helps with that as well. Couple of statistics. When we started with Joint Water and Sewer back in 2008, we had 114 W-2s that we processed. This last year there was 157, but the wages have increased. Let's see, the first year wages we had 3.2 million, and this last year we did 6.4 million wages. So you guys have grown significantly in the 8 years. Because we administered the Section 125 plan, the first year your employer's tax savings was about $8,600. This year it was $25,000, and the employee savings were even more than that. The job applicants that's come through our office for this last year is 1,170 people. Those are the job applicants that we processed for you guys. So it's getting out there, the word's getting out there. A lot of people are interested and excited about working for Joint Water and Sewer. We're just weeding through those and making sure you get the best people. Okay. There were some work-related incidents. Just some 2014, you had 21. 2015, 14 claims. In 2016, you had 21 claims. 2015 was the first year of the safety incentive plan, and the claim cost dropped from $156,000 to $7,000. So that safety incentive obviously is working. In 2016, the claim cost has risen, but you had one severe claim, and that's why that happened. All right. I know you guys have some questions. Who has the first one?
Yeah, I have one question. You say Joint Water Sewer is a client. How many other clients do you have?
We have about 62 other clients. We do.
Are we one of your biggest clients?
You're one of our largest. We have a couple of clients that have more employees, like we do the Mill Mushroom, 4 locations, and they have about 300 employees. We have a couple other ones that are around 100, 150, 200 mark, but there's 4 locations in Mill Mushroom, not just one. But you're one of the largest as far as wages.
Okay.
Yeah. So I also have Daphne Gable here, the benefits manager, and she kind of wanted to give you a brief summary of the insurance changes for this year. So if you guys have a minute for that, and then we'll continue with the questions.
My name is Daphne Gable, I'm the benefits manager, as Kelly mentioned. Teamwork Services, every year we shop out the insurance to make sure that we're offering, to make sure that we're offering quality coverage at comparative rates with only the A-rated insurance carriers out there. There's a lot of insurance carriers out there that can offer lower rates, but we want to make sure that we're offering coverage in our small communities as well as offering nationwide communities, and that are going to process claims and be good carriers to go with. So we only shop them out with the good carriers, the A-rated ones each year. A lot of the brokers that are in Atlanta, Jacksonville, they don't really understand our small town dynamic. They think that just because you have a large network in Jacksonville or a large network in Atlanta, that will work for Brunswick and our surrounding counties. So we also take into consideration that to make sure that we have local service and a large network locally for our employees. The insurance carrier only releases the renewal 60 days in advance. Our renewal is actually March 1st, so we're coming up on that pretty quickly. Other carriers won't actually even give us solid rates until we have the rates back from the current carrier. So that does slow us down in our process. Due to the 60-day window that we have with renewal rates being released, and then we have to wait for the other carriers to actually give us rates back. We have to work quickly to ensure that we have a smooth transition from the old plan to the new plan if we're changing coverages. At this time, we do have the rates back from the other carriers, and we're actually going to be able to maintain great coverage and actually decrease the cost just slightly for joint water and sewer, as well as maintain or decrease the deductions for the employee paychecks going forward this year. We've had several good years in the past, and we're able to negotiate and have a great year this year as well, so we're really excited about that. We've sent you guys the information in advance so that you can review it with the current details as well as the renewal options, so that you can see what we've put together and what we're presenting at the 2 o'clock commission meeting. We wanted to send it out to you in advance, that way you had an opportunity to look it over, and hopefully we can get an approval going forward at the 2 o'clock commission meeting. That way we can go ahead and get the employee meeting scheduled and get everything back from the employees, so they'll have their information prior to March 1st, which is the actual effective date of all the plans. Katina and I both, who is the broker, will be at the 2 o'clock commission meeting to answer any questions that you'll have.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
one of the biggest things, when you said that we had 300 some people apply for the job, the last one you were talking about, how many people at your service looking at, and before it gets to us, before we make a final decision on that?
We have 4 people in HR. So the first initial one comes through Bailey Lane, who's the human resource generalist. And so she'll go through and weed out the people who don't even have the minimum qualifications. And then we'll give them to the supervisors for them to be able to see which ones that they want to set up the interviews for, and then we'll help set up the interviews and then do the background checks. We'll call them, do the references and everything. So we weed them down. Cindy, how we weed? I mean, we weed them down at least by
I'd say, yeah.
3/4.
I mean, the customer service job, that's something, and meter reader, that's what everybody seems to want to do. So those generate the highest response rate from candidates. But we might, cut it down to 15 people. The supervisor looks at all 15 of those, and then they might decide, I want to interview these 6. So once that supervisor thinks they've got their top choice, they do a request to hire, which goes to the executive director. This is my top candidate. This is why I think this person's the top candidate. These are the other people I interviewed that I considered for the position. And then that gets to me as well as Mr. Jones.
And the only other question I have for you is, I don't see a phone number. And all through the presentation, I see no phone numbers where somebody can get in touch with you.
Okay.
I
265.
I'd like to have them just in case.
Okay, we'll get you some cards.
Thank you.
But our directory, we have a photo directory. Actually, they were at the printers right now. I was going to pick them up before the meeting, but we moved it up a little bit. So I have a photo directory for you guys, and we'll bring it back whenever we come back this afternoon. And I'll have a photo of everybody, and then also has our contact information on there as well. If you don't know, we're located in the old joint water and sewer building in downtown. People still try to come in and pay their bill a year and a half later.
Do you know how many employees are from outside Glynn County?
That work for you guys? I don't know off the top of my head. It's a pretty large amount. I mean, I live in Brantley and the community, and so most people in Brantley do commute to Glynn County to work. And so I know that there are a lot of employees in Glynn County, Brantley County that work for joint water and sewer.
Okay.
But we can get you that information if you
Yes, I
want.
like those.
That would be, I think,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's an easy report. We'll bring that back. this
Yeah,
weekend.
and the other question is, does the network include the outlying counties where the employees actually live?
Yes.
That's,
It
you know,
includes the doctors in the surrounding counties, because obviously we have a population that work here that is spread out, so we make sure that the local doctors that are specifically in Mayhana or Townsend they're actually doctors there that are in network.
okay. Another key thing for the Personnel Committee is that we started about a year ago, 2 years ago maybe, review of workers' compensation claims. And have we stopped doing that?
What do you mean by a review?
Well, we went through the number that we had and the reason with the personnel committee.
I think Jeffrey Singletary does that with the safety committee that meets. He
Well,
chairs
Yeah,
that.
we still maintain it, maybe it just
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah,
has to
that
be.
needs to be part of the personnel committee, which is also gonna incorporate
Right.
safety.
Yeah.
I think those become less frequent.
So, yeah, I think that was just quarterly, that they went over the claims,
Sure.
because,
To say, some of those medical issues and claims is also reviewed in the executive session.
okay.
There's people.
Yeah, because of
and
HIPAA.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to be cognizant of HIPAA, and so sometimes you have to do it that way. Then, as part of the personnel committee, things, y'all are supposed to be developing some metrics to,
Yes, sir.
look at.
I met with, the HR team and with Pam Morris, and we met with Jeffrey Singletary and Bailey to, let them know about the information that you want us to have going forward with the newly named HR and safety committee, yes.
Okay, and then, Commissioner Harvey, look at them and then
Sure.
add to them,
Okay.
you know, what you think you need to,
Sure.
to help us manage that portion of it. It's just like, here's some, what else do you want, or do you think you need these? Kind of,
No problem. No
just
problem.
someplace that, you know, words on a piece of paper so
Okay.
everybody can shoot at it.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to expand on the health insurance
Uh-huh.
for a moment. Last week, Mr. Junkin, Pamela, and myself spent about an hour and a half with Daphne and Bettina Tyndall going over the existing Cigna policy, the policies, the insurance companies that they had shopped their coverage out to, and the levels of coverage and rates and so on for the request for the renewal of Blue Cross that will be on the agenda this afternoon. So we've spent a considerable amount of time on that, and we believe it's the best option for the very much.
I believe Mr. Junkin had Janice send out a packet of all that.
Yeah,
information to
I
everyone.
mean, I got mine, but. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just as a point of information, I went to an economic development authority briefing at the Exchange Club, and their estimate was there's over 17,000 people who live in surrounding counties that come here to work in Glynn County, and there's about 9,000 to 10,000 of Glynn County people who go out to other counties to work. So, and I think they're all on Highway 17 in the morning when I'm trying to come to work. Another thing that I didn't know to do, but the child support, in another life, I was chief state attorney for the biggest region in South Carolina for child support, and those things are constantly changing, those court orders. So I know that's a lot of work, because in my region, we had like 50,000 cases, so it's constant turnover.
It is, we have quite a few child support, magistrate courts, yeah, so you have to send an answer whether or not the employee's working or not, so.
That's another thing I didn't know they were doing, but that's a lot of work.
Other questions? Thank you very much, Kelly.
Thank you.